everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and today I'm going to be doing my May and some of June book haul. I bought a lot of books, and let's just talk about it. I'm just going to kind of roll through. There's a lot here. I'm going to try to do this without taking forever because my battery's getting low and I just don't know what's going to happen. First up, I have The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. I read the 5th season as part of the ARG Booked Book Club in April, I think it was. Yeah, I think this was our April book. And so I decided to continue, and I bought the next book in the series. I don't know when I'm going to have time to pick this up. I'm still somewhat intimidated because I feel like I still don't fully understand what was happening in the first book. But my mother has read the rest of the series. I gifted it to her, and she says I should continue because all my questions will be answered. I have The Blackbird Girls by Anne Blankman. I was so excited when I heard about this book that I immediately purchased it. This is a middle grade story about Chernobyl, but also about Jews in Russia, and I believe that this girl flees Chernobyl after the disaster and learns about her heritage, perhaps, or her friend's heritage. I'm not sure. That has to do with the pogroms and stuff. So I am just so excited about that. You know, my heritage is Jewish and Russian, and I just love finding books like that, so I'm really looking forward to picking this up. I have Once Upon an Eid, Stories of Hope and Joy by 15 Muslim Voices by S.K. Ali and Aisha Saeed. I'm very, very excited about this because when I wrote the Build Your Library Reading Challenge back in December, I put as one of the challenges to read a book that takes place during a holiday that you don't celebrate. And so when I saw this was a thing, this is newly published. I believe this came out at the beginning of May because it was a pre-order. So I'm very excited to read that. This is a bunch of short stories by a variety of authors. So this is young adult. This is going to hit my challenge to read a story, or stories in this case, that take place during a holiday that I don't celebrate. So I'm really excited about that. I have The Not So Boring Letters of Private Nobody by Matthew Landis. This is a story about a group of like middle grade aged kids. I think they're in middle school, and they're working on a group project about the Civil War. They find some letters from a soldier they've never heard of and uncover some secrets about the past. That's all I know. This is middle grade. It's potential for level 6. I'm very excited to pick it up. I really, really hope it's what I'm looking for. I have We Are Not From Here by Jenny Torres Sanchez. This was another just like super excited, squeal, immediately purchased book when I heard about it because this is a YA own voices version of American Dirt, which I don't know if you guys have seen the controversy over American Dirt, but that was like the entirety of Twitter when it came out back in January. It was just all about why you shouldn't read American Dirt. So this is sort of not it. I'm sure this was written around the same time, so it's not like they wrote it because of that, but this is a better thing to read instead of. So if you want to read American Dirt, if it's been hyped to you, pick this up instead, because this is the same basic idea as that. This is about some teenagers who are crossing through Mexico and trying to make it to the United States, and this is about them and their journey and what happens to them along the way, and its own voices, and I'm very excited to read it. I have A Ceiling Made of Eggshells by Gail Carson Levine. This is also brand new, and it's about a Jewish girl living through the Spanish Inquisition, I believe. You're going to notice a theme. I'm very excited about this one because I've read anything, I don't think ever, about it in middle grade about the Spanish Inquisition. So to find a book that's about a Jewish girl living through that, very excited. And then I have Anya and the Dragon by Sophia Pasternak, and this is also middle grade, and it's about a Jewish girl in Russia, I believe. And there's dragons. So it's like a fantasy version of Russia, and dragons exist, and that's really all I needed. Also, both of these, and potentially The Blackbird Girls, are going to be books I offer up to my youngest, Regina, to read for her Reading Around the World project, because I feel like she's very excited about stories about Jewish children. For her to like sort of be understanding right now that she's also Jewish, that is also her heritage, and she's very excited about that. So I feel like these are going to make good stories to add to her list of things to read. I picked up The Unsuitable by Molly Polig. I saw, I don't know, back in May? No, must have been May. Back at the end of April, perhaps, I saw a talk with a group of horror authors, and Molly Polig was on that talk, talking about this book. And it's such a weird sounding book. This is like a Gothic Victorian era story with a twist, and it's supposed to be kind of graphic and unsettling, and I'm really excited about that. So I don't know, I'm very interested to pick this up. I have The Bitter Side of Sweet, a novel by Tara Sullivan. I'm not sure if this is middle grade or young adult, or straddling the two. This is about some children, some boys, working on a cacao plantation, and they're trying to escape the plantation and go somewhere where they can live in freedom. And it takes place in modern day, so this is an example of modern day slavery. And I don't know, this potentially, if it's not too mature, will be added to level 7 of Build Your Library, which is around the world geography focused year. And when I saw someone talking about this book, and I got really interested in reading it. So I don't know, I didn't anticipate doing a huge revamp of level 7, but I don't know, I might have to find a spot for this if it's good, because I feel like this might be an important book to add. I have The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I've had this book like on my radar for ages. This book is one of those things that I feel like is an important book that I just should read. This is probably not going to be a fast read. It's probably going to be really slow and something that I'm going to have to like think about deeply as I'm reading. So this is to do with the Underground Railroad and slavery during the Civil War, or prior to the Civil War, I should say. It's historical fiction, literary fiction. It won the Pulitzer Prize. So I'm very interested and excited to pick this up. Then I have Orange for the Sunsets by Tina Athade. And this is a story, I forget what this is now. Yeah, this is a story about two best friends, one Indian and one African. Yeah, and this takes place, it says, when Ugandan President Idi Amin announces that Indians have 90 days to leave the country, suddenly those differences are the only things that people in Entebbe can see, not the shared after-school samosas or Asha cheering for Yesofu at every cricket game. So it's about friends being torn apart and forced to leave the country, and it sounds very good, very sad but important, so I'm very interested to pick this up. Again, middle grade, so the middle grade game is killing it lately, guys. I don't know, I'm just so excited. There's so many really great diverse middle grade books coming out that I just like, I want to read them all. I want to read them all with my daughter. That also will probably be in her pile for books to read for her Around the World reading project. I keep saying I'm not going to buy new things and we're just going to read the shelves, but like, I can't help myself, guys. Then I have Saving Savannah by Tanya Bolden. This, I bought 2 books by her, actually. I also bought Crossing Ebenezer Creek, both by Tanya Bolden. Crossing Ebenezer Creek is a Civil War story, and I don't really know too much more. It says, freedom, Mariah has barely dared to dream of it in her entire life. When General Sherman's march through Georgia during the Civil War passes the plantation where she's enslaved, her life changes instantly. Joining the march for protection, Mariah heads into the unknown, wondering if she can ever feel safe, if she will ever be able to put the brutalities of slavery behind her. On the march, Mariah meets a young man named Caleb, and a new dream takes root, one of a future with a home of her own and a true love by her side, but hope often comes at a cost. So this sounds amazing. It's young adult historical fiction about the Civil War and slavery, and it sounds great. And then this one, it takes place in 1919, and it's about a daughter of upper-class African Americans in Washington, D.C., and she's able to attend a very rigorous, prestigious school, living in high society, and then she meets a guy who shows her the other side of things, and she joins in the fight for women's suffrage. And it says, set against the backdrop of women's rights movement, the Red Summer, and the anarchist bombings of 1919. Saving Savannah is the story of a girl who must decide how much she's willing to risk to be the change in a world on the brink of dramatic transformation. If that doesn't sound like a book for right now, I don't know what does. So I really want to pick this up, but I can only read so many things at once. I picked up Mark of the Thief by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is middle grade about ancient Rome, and I was just really curious about it because I'd never heard of it before, and I'm always looking for good historical fiction. So I don't really know too much about it right now because I haven't had time to really delve too deeply, but when I saw there was a book on ancient Rome for a middle grade audience that I'd never heard of, I decided I should pick it up and see what it is. So I'll eventually get around to reading this, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts. I already own The Giver, but my copy of The Giver was literally falling apart, and I decided I should get a new copy. And when I went to go look for it, I saw that you could get the whole boxed set for like $25. They're all hardcover. So I decided to just go ahead and get the whole thing because I've never read the rest of it. I've read The Giver numerous times. I do believe I read Gathering Blue because they had a copy at the library, but I've never read the other two books. So I feel like I should do that. But I absolutely love The Giver. It's one of my favorite dystopian stories. I just think it's so endlessly interesting. Like, you can discuss so much based on this short little book. So it's going to be a read aloud in level 6. I love that this set came with a huge map poster. So let me open it up for you guys. It's gorgeous. I love maps in books. Isn't that cool? It has all the different communities. Some of them I don't know what they are because I haven't read all of the books yet. I'm very excited to have this now and to finally read the rest of the series, because like I've read The Giver numerous times, so I'm excited to see what the rest of the series is like and how they connect, because I don't remember a lot about Gathering Blue besides that it didn't make sense. Like, it wasn't this, I thought it was going to be a continuation of The Giver, and it was like an entirely different story. So I'm very interested to see how it connects with The Giver in the other books. So I have that. I pre-ordered My Calamity Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I've been very excited to read the rest of this series. I read My Lady Jane when it came out a couple of years ago and thought it was hilarious and cute. I felt like My Lady Jane was such a cute story about Lady Jane Grey, 90s queen. I felt like that was a story that gave her a chance to be who she wanted to. I don't know, I'm being silly now, but I felt like that book was just cute and fun. And so I have, what is it called? I have My Plain Jane, which is a Jane Eyre retelling. And I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. And now I have My Calamity Jane, which is a Wild West story about the real Calamity Jane, and obviously, I assume this is going to be just as silly and not at all historically accurate as the other one. So I'm still here for it, though. It's cute fluff, and sometimes you just need that. And then the last two books I want to talk about, I have Pet by, I'm sorry, I cannot say this name. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but Akwaki Emezi. I don't know. I'm very excited to read it. Sarah's talked about it before to me and made me very curious. I know the main character is trans. I know this is sort of a dystopian involving monsters, and it's a novella, so I'm very interested to pick this up. And then I have Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi, and this is also a dystopian, like sci-fi kind of story about rioting and blackness. What does it say? Ella has a thing. She sees a classmate grow up to become a caring nurse, a neighbor's son murdered in a drive-by shooting, things that haven't happened yet. Kev, born while Los Angeles burned around them, wants to protect his sister from a power that could destroy her. But when Kev is incarcerated, Ella must decide what it means to watch her brother suffer while holding the ability to wreck cities in her hands, rooted in the hope that can live in anger. Riot Baby is as much an intimate family story as a global dystopian narrative. It burns fearlessly toward revolution and has quietly devastating things to say about love, fury, and the Black American experience. So I'm very interested in picking this up because it sounds amazing. So those are all of the books that I bought in the month of May and the beginning of June. Oh my gosh, you guys, my pile is ridiculous there. And I'm going to pull it over here. So now you can see, like, this is crazy. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 21 books here in my pile. I'm very excited about all of them. If there's anything in this pile that you think I should prioritize, let me know. I'm excited to read all of it, but I just don't know when, how I'm gonna possibly. I have so many things I have to read right now for work purposes that we'll see how I get around to all of these. So did you get any new books this month? Let me know in the comments and we can chat about it. Have you read any of these? Let me know and we can talk. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope you're all well. Black Lives Matter. And read books, read different perspectives, be the change, read things that make you rethink everything. Thanks so much for watching. Happy reading. Bye.